Series going to the Giants.
We got our tails whipped today.
It took 29 years to get here. This Royals team refusing to stop fighting. Our coverage of Game 5 starts now. Are you fired up yet? The Royals gearing up for yet another game.
The team is now tied 2-2 in the World Series. That means that both teams will fight for the title right here in Kansas City. But first, they play Game 5 tonight in San Francisco. Our KMBC 9 team has been covering the World Series from all angles throughout this weekend.
That's right, Haley. We continue our team coverage of Game 5 tonight. KMBC 9 Sports Director Johnny Kane joining us from the field right now at AT&T Park. Johnny?
Hey, good to be with you guys. Hey, this is what it's all about, right? We knew this series was going to go deep into it. The best of 7 has now become a best of 3. We're knotted up at 2 games apiece. Just walked past the manager, Ned Yost, a few minutes ago. You think he's nervous about this? I'm sure he is, but outwardly very calm. Legs crossed in the dugout, posing for a couple of pitchers, and that's what you have to have with this young group of guys. The confidence has not wavered. They still believe they're going to win this doggone thing. But now, obviously, a formidable task here is you've got to go up against the San Francisco ace, Madison Bumgarner, making his 6th start of this postseason. You got big game James Shields on the mound. This is what October baseball is all about. So anyway, it's been terrific, obviously, to this point. Game 5 of the World Series here in San Fran. I'll tell you, if you want to get some goosebumps going, you want to hear what Ned Yost had to say a short while ago.
I just made an effort that, I'm going to slow down and I'm going to enjoy this to the max. And you know what? We've all of my boys in that locker room, have a deep feeling in their heart that they're going to win the World Series. And if you have that feeling, a loss doesn't matter. I mean, if you believe you're going to win, 1 loss, 2 losses doesn't matter. It's a 7-game series. You got to win 4. So you just go out, play your hearts out, and whatever happens, happens. And all the ingredients are there for it to be successful.
How good is that, right? I mean, that's what you got to have from your manager, obviously, with these guys. Hey, let's keep in mind, the Royals have faced the Giants 7 times this year. You know how many times they've won? 5. Still need 2 victories to hang a world championship banner. It's going to be tough again tonight. Going to be very, very tough against Madison Bumgarner. But certainly the manager has confidence. These players have the confidence that they'll need, obviously, here in Game 5 of the World Series. But this is a beautiful thing, and what a beautiful Sunday here. We're talking World Series baseball in Kansas City and also here in San Francisco. That's going to do it for me at this particular point in time. Let's head outside to McCovey Cove, where KMBC 9's Laura Morris is standing by. Laura?
And Johnny, talking to the fans, everybody in blue is just like, hey, it is a great day. It is a new day now. McCovey Cove, right behind me, it is absolutely perfect weather out here today. Not a cloud in the sky. There are more boats than ever before. I can't wait to see the traffic jam of kayaks a little bit later. Now, I did talk to some Giants fans earlier today. Yeah, I just wanted to socialize and see what was happening with them. And you know what? We have really earned their respect, and that is the best thing of all. I also caught up with a U.S. Marine that grew up in Adrian, Missouri. He drove up from Camp Pendleton with a fellow Marine who he's converting into a Royals fan. Despite last night's loss, he's full of hope.
How's it going? I still have faith in them, though. It's tied up. It's definitely a series, and it's definitely a lot of fun. So I'm enjoying it a lot.
And see, he's taking Ned Yost's advice. He's enjoying the ride, and that's what all of the fans here in San Francisco are doing as well. And I know a hot spot in Kansas City is Power and Light, and that's where we find KMBC 9's Brian Johnson. Brian, what's the feeling there?
I'd say the feeling is very much the same. We believe is the feeling they are going into this. All the fans here going into this with a lot of hope. Sprint is out here giving out more We Believe signs. They're giving out towels, all kinds of stuff. People are not fazed by yesterday's loss. They're bringing their good karma here, and they're hoping for a win. While there are fewer fans, you can hear them. They are just as adamant, just as pumped for their team. Some came as early as 1:45 p.m. to grab their seats here at Power and Light. They have a great view of the big screen, and they are hoping for a Royal win.
You're here to support them, so they got to. They have to win. Everybody's so excited and so pumped. The whole city. We talk about it all the time. Everybody see on the street, go Royals! So no way you can't feel that all the way to California.
And surely they can feel that, because I love the way she says that. That is exactly how the fans are here. Super animated, super excited. They've got their towels. They're setting up here, and we are hoping for a sellout crowd again. Yesterday, there were so many people, they weren't letting people in, and it will most likely be very similar tonight. Laura, back to you.
Well, and Brian, look, see, I just love this. I love finding Royals fans in San Francisco, and we do. You think we're going to win tonight?
Absolutely.
I think we are, too. Now I'm going to talk to these fine folks. I'm going to send it back to Haley and Scott. Guys?
All right, good work, Laura. Thanks so much. You know, there is another team that was playing today, and it'll be a long day of cheering for Kansas Cityans. Chiefs going to battle today, and it was a good game on both sides of the ball, especially for this guy right here, Justin Houston. He had a career day. We're talking about 5 tackles, 3 sacks. Red Sunday included some top-notch touchdowns as well. It was a Missouri showdown against the St. Louis Rams, and they've been playing well lately, but behind big days from guys like Jamal Charles and Niall Davis. Along with the defense, the Chiefs rolling to victory. 2 touchdowns for Charles, like this run right up the middle, essentially untouched and into the end zone. That is a 36-yard run for Jamal. So a strong showing all around and a convincing win out at Arrowhead. Chiefs coming up big, 34-7 over the Rams. Now we heard from Alex Smith, who spoke about when the momentum in this game changed.
Special teams has that ability. I mean, it's such a momentum thing, you know, and when special teams can come out and make a play like that to start the second half, and you could just feel the momentum change in that game. You know, coming at halftime and it's still close, and, you know, come out and to get a play like that out of our special teams just completely changes the momentum of that game.
After the press conference, Governor Jay Nixon awarding Coach Andy Reid the Governor's Trophy. It is given out every year to the winner of the Chiefs-Rams game.
And what a beautiful, beautiful weekend to enjoy being outside. Felt like summertime across the area, but it looked like fall. Take a look at this video shot over the course of this weekend of the fall foliage in full bloom here across the Kansas City Metro. They won't stay like this for much longer with temperatures this warm. Those leaves are going to be dropping off the trees. Those sunny, warm autumn days we've been having, it helped the colors really come out and shine, but they also kind of work against it. Too hot, they fall off the trees. So that is a treat to be held. Clouds and radar over the last 3 hours. There's the sunshine, not a lot of cloud cover here in Kansas City. As we take a look outside, what we do have is a lot of wind and a lot of October heat. 83 degrees, winds gusting well over 30 miles per hour. Look at these numbers. 83 in Ottawa, 85 in Belton, St. Joe, 86 degrees for the rest of the evening. If you have a convertible, put the top down, friend. 76 degrees. Coming up in 15 minutes, we do have rain showers on the way for Monday, possibly impacting that evening commute, and then a much cooler week with frost possibly at the end of the tunnel. Haley.
A Metro emergency room has reopened after it was evacuated overnight. Authorities say the University of Kansas Hospital in KCK received a bomb threat around 3 this morning. Staff followed normal protocol and alerted police and evacuated that emergency room for about an hour. Nothing was found and no one was hurt. 1 week after being shot outside of a Metro gas station, 6-year-old Angel Hooper was laid to rest. Angel was shot and killed during a drive-by off of 107th and Blue Ridge. Since then, the community has gathered in hopes of making an arrest in the case, even offering an award that now stands at $21,000. If you have any information on who was involved in that shooting, you are asked to call the TIPS hotline. That number is 816-474-TIPS.
The Ebola virus is continuing to spread. The World Health Organization releasing some new numbers showing at least 10,000 people have been infected, with 4,900 deaths now reported. Meanwhile, there's new questions being raised tonight about the enforcement of Ebola quarantines. Airports in Illinois, New Jersey, and New York say they will now isolate individuals who had direct contact with someone infected with the virus. Human rights groups are expressing concerns over the unclear enforcement policies, but each of the governors say something needs to be done.
We are no longer relying on CDC standards. There are now New York, New Jersey standards for this, and we need New York, New Jersey health officials to work with the CDC to make sure that our standards are met before there's admission to either of our states.
The change has come as 2 doctors came into the country with Ebola. Both are now being quarantined and recovering from the virus.
Coming up, our World Series coverage continues. KMBC 9's Karen Kornacki breaks down what it's going to take for the Royals to come back to Kansas City with another win in the World Series. KMBC 9 News at 5 is back in just moments.
For the home team, if they don't win, it's a shame. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game.
Here's some Royals players showing their fans some love. It just makes us love them even more listening to that. You see here Jeremy Guthrie, Alcides Escobar, and Salvador Perez singing the famous Take Me Out to the Ball Game. This video is posted on Instagram for all their fans to see.
Don't give up your day job.
No, yeah, keep playing ball, boys. I think that's the best thing. Speaking of ball, I've been a little bit concerned about the Giants pitcher because their ace is going to be in tonight.
And you know what everyone is. You say Madison Bumgarner and everybody's like, oh, well, there's an automatic Giants win. And right now with this series tied, the last thing the Royals want is to concede that this is the guy that's going to make the difference. So I've been talking to the hitting coach today, talking to Mike Moustakas, and their attitude is, hey, he's human. He's got an Achilles heel. He's not Superman. Even Superman has kryptonite, and they have a feeling they are going to find his weaknesses. They are not going to give up. They are not conceding that this is the guy that's going to do them in today. So I want you to hear what Mike Moustakas had to say, as well as the hitting coach, because it kind of gives me a little bit more confidence when I hear what they say.
Got to find a way to beat him. I mean, you know, he's human just like everybody else is. He's going to make mistakes. We just got to execute and, you know, get on top of him when we can. And, you know, he's a great pitcher, does a lot of great things with that ball. And, you know, we just got to find ways to get on base and score runs. And, you know, we're not going to sit here and be intimidated. We got to go find a way to beat him.
He challenges. He comes right at you, and you know you have to be prepared. You have to be aggressive because he doesn't walk anybody. So you have to, you know, do things like that. You can't get behind, but he's very good at getting strike one. So, like I said, you have to be, you know, as aggressive as possible, but you know, get the ball in the strike zone, and he'll give you plenty to hit. It's just, you know, he gives up a lot of foul balls and things like that, and gets ahead that way.
So Coach Swaim kind of let me believe that they are just going to be patient with him, that there will be opportunities, and when they come, they have to take advantage.
And I think they will. I have a good feeling.
I do too.
Now, Karen, you're going to love this next story.
Okay.
Because, you know, my beat in San Francisco has been finding Royals fans. So,
and you're doing that very well.
Well, thank you. So, you know, we just find anyone in blue. Found a very nice family. And then when they introduced themselves, we knew we were in for a real Royal treat. You see all kinds of fans outside the Giants Stadium, so why not approach a family with 4 kids, sporting Royals blue right down to the toenails?
I'm superstitious, so I did this before they played the A's, and I haven't taken them off, and then I sprained my leg and hurt my foot, but won't let anybody touch it.
Sounds like another dedicated Royals fan, right? Right. Until they introduce themselves. So your first name is?
Paul.
Paul Guthrie.
Yes.
As in Royals pitcher Jeremy Guthrie's oldest brother, Paul. Oh, okay. As expected, the Guthries are newer Royals fans. You've been a fan of other Guthrie teams.
Yes, the Rockies, the Orioles, and the Indians.
And now it's the Royals.
Now it's the Royals. We like the colors, like the team, excited to meet. We've met a few of the players, so very nice team, very good group.
So it's kind of weird to get attention when I've known him since he was 13, so he's just Jeremy to us, but he's a great guy.
In fact, they just happened to have a picture they sent Jeremy when he went off to Stanford. Good luck, Uncle Jeremy. And that Stanford connection actually gets the Guthrie family in good with Giants fans.
They know he went to Stanford, a lot of them, so they're very nice, and they kind of go, we're rooting for your brother, even though they got the Giants gear on. So it's exciting, great group of fans, and you know, they've been very nice to us.
So you can imagine my surprise as I'm just roaming around looking for people in blue, and I find the Guthrie family. Another family secret. There are 3 Guthrie sons. All of them have married Jennifers. Isn't that so funny? I couldn't believe that, but that's a family secret. Don't tell anyone.
Incredible coincidence, Laura. Yeah, and you've been finding these Royals fans everywhere out there. Are we making a good showing at AT&T Park?
Yeah.
We are, and you know, of course we're outnumbered by Giants fans. We knew we would be, but I tell you what, Giants fans have had nothing but nice things to say about the Royals fans. And, you know, like I said, they have a lot of respect for this Royals team. They may have kind of turned up their nose at the beginning. They don't anymore, that is for sure.
They better not. Thanks, Laura. And she's wearing a blouse out there today. She said it was perfect baseball weather.
It is beautiful. You see the blue skies there in the background. You know, the San Francisco Giants fans, met a couple of them out at the K. We all have. They are pretty nice. They're a pretty nice group. We still want to win. We want to beat them.
Exactly.
So we need to close that out tonight out there. You notice the winds aren't as strong out there at AT&T Park as what they were the last couple of games. We had some howling winds coming off the Pacific, swirling around there at the Bay. The winds are known to swirl there at AT&T Park. Currently 70 degrees out there in San Francisco. Westerly breeze at about 18 miles per hour. Fairly tame compared to where we have been. That looks like a beautiful Kansas City day out there. How about it? All right, Game 5 of the World Series is tonight. We'll look for a temperature at about 64 degrees for the first pitch. Winds 15 to 20 miles per hour out of the west. Those winds will decrease gradually as the game lingers on in the 7th inning, about 61 degrees. Back here at home for Game 6, this is going to be noticeably cooler. 56 degrees, nowhere near as windy, but you'll need the big coat for this one, friends. Temperatures down into the 40s by the 7th inning. And then if we need it, Game 7 on Wednesday here at the K, 59 degrees for the first pitch, a south breeze, 50s for this game. A heavier jacket is warranted for that. 3, 2, go. Clouds and radar over the last 3 hours. We do have a few high clouds moving in here, but a lot of sunshine and a lot of wind and still some heat if you're heading out there for the Sporting KC match tonight at 7:30. 76 degrees, dropping down into the low 70s by the second half. You do not need a coat for this one. Check out the current temperature here in Kansas City. 83 degrees. The high for today was 85. 2 degrees shy of tying the record high for this date. South winds 23, gusting over 30. The winds were close to 40 earlier in the afternoon. Blue Springs 78, Lee Summit 83, Independence 84, and Liberty at 85 degrees. Feels like a summer day. Doesn't feel like October by any means. Overnight tonight, 50s and 60s. It's going to be a mild start, kind of breezy overnight. It's going to keep the atmosphere mixed up just a bit. We won't drop that much. A weak cool front coming through tomorrow afternoon. 70s behind that cold front. Kansas City, Lawrence, St. Joe. These numbers are still well above average. We'll have 80s still in parts of the viewing area. Best Bet, Sedalia, Clinton, and Butler. As that front comes through, the atmosphere will be a little dry early on, but it'll slowly saturate. I think we'll see some rain showers developing later in the afternoon into the evening for the commute here in Kansas City. The highest chance of rain will be to the east of the metro, and I wouldn't be surprised if you hear a rumble of thunder. But these showers should be brief, and there shouldn't be that much accumulation. 62 degrees to start off the morning drive. Cloud cover increasing throughout the day. Still a bit breezy. Keep the umbrella handy for that evening drive. 76 degrees. And then noticeably cooler for the rest of the work week. That's fall-like conditions for Thursday and Friday and Saturday. That's when we could see frost for parts of the area. The most likely spot to see freezing conditions is going to be up north. Places like Trenton, Bethany, Chillicothe for next weekend. Much colder than this weekend.
What a day to be out at Arrowhead today, though. I mean,
exactly. Yeah. Perfect. Doesn't get much better than this.
It was great. Yeah, you bet.
Thanks, Nick.
Yeah.
Well, a massive car recall could affect you.
Why, there's a new call tonight to add hundreds of thousands of vehicles to an airbag recall list.
I'm Chris Katz in San Francisco. So is an 11-4 drubbing by the Giants last night in Game 4 of the World Series any reason for Royals fans to lose hope? We found a couple of Royals fans who say, of course not. You'll hear from them in minutes right here on KMBC 9 News.
Police are releasing new details tonight about a teen who opened fire inside a Washington high school on Friday.
Family of the shooter, Jalen Freiberg, say that he targeted friends and relatives. 2 of the victims were his cousins. Students describe Freiberg as a popular freshman who was recently named Homecoming Prince. He shot 4 people, one of them fatally, before then turning the gun on himself.
Your vehicle could soon be added to an already massive recall list. That's because of exploding airbags. Right now, nearly 8 million vehicles are under that recall, mostly concentrated in warmer states with humid climates. The recall includes 11 makes and dozens of models of vehicles from Honda to Toyota, Nissan, Mazda, GM, Ford, Chrysler, BMW, and Mitsubishi. You can get another look at the full list at our website, KMBC.com. All right, let's take it back out to AT&T Park. That would be the auxiliary press box. So that is where a lot of the media, including our own Johnny Kane and Karen Kornacki, that is where they watch the game from. Kind of a behind-the-scenes look at AT&T Park and the World Series, where our coverage will continue in just moments. Stay with us. Royals fans heading out to the ballpark in San Francisco. There they go.
We've caught up with some fans who paid some pretty big bucks to go to those games, most of them telling us they would not miss the World Series.
Royals fans out in San Francisco have not lost hope after last night's Giants win.
KMBC 9's Chris Katz found 2 Royals fans who are still in it to win it.
It is the city by the bay. Cable cars, a picture-perfect Sunday, and Royals fans are still here. All right, it's okay for Giants fans to feel a little smug after an 11-4 drubbing in Game 4 of the World Series last night. And in terms of smug, listen to one Giants fan we found not far from Ghirardelli Square.
It's a win.
It's 11-4 win, though.
13-6.
Oh, so it gets worse.
Giants.
But Dustin and Emily Wilson of Kansas City still have hope. Flying to Reno, driving to San Francisco, and at the game last night. How was last night in the stands?
It was a great experience. The fans were awesome. It was great to be able to see a World Series game. Obviously, the turnout wasn't what we wanted, but I mean, it was just a great experience. The ballpark is beautiful, and it was a lot of fun.
And they're going to be at the game tonight because of ticket prices. This isn't just your normal weekend getaway to the coast. So it was the ticket was the major expense.
The ticket was a major expense, yeah.
Are you eating ramen noodles for the next couple of months, or?
Probably.
Okay. But again, they'll be here tonight. Like a few hundred other Royals fans, anxious for a win, anxious for a title. Chris Katz, KMBC 9 News, San Francisco.
All of us optimistic that we're going to get it tonight. Live pictures here from McCovey's Cove. We are now just a little over an hour and a half from first pitch in San Francisco. We're back after this. Been nothing but a celebration for Royals fans, even after last night's loss to the Giants.
The boys in blue set to take the field in about, well, an hour and a half now. And we continue our World Series coverage from San Francisco and right here in the Metro. We're going to start with our cruise down at Power and Light. That is where we find our own KMBC 9's Brian Johnson. Brian, I've been there. Haley's been out there. We've seen some pretty big crowds, but judging from what happened last night, I mean, they had to turn people away. There was literally not enough room, right?
Yeah, it's going to be hard to beat that. I mean, full house and turning people away. So far, the crowd isn't that big, but these are the diehards. A lot of them came very early. I'll show you the group behind me. There are a lot of people here. They all have their sprint signs, their We Believe signs, their fans, their pom-poms, and they are ready for a win. They are not fazed by what happened yesterday. In fact, they're hoping for more of what happened on Friday night. We have some video from that scene I want to show you. Check this out. There it is. The cheer that no one will forget. This was an electrifying moment. That win, the crowd, the confetti, everyone is hoping for something like this again today on a Sunday night. They want to repeat. People have been here since 1:45 claiming their seats tonight. For some folks, it is a family affair.
I did. I made her go. I've been making her watch every game, and she's caught the fever, and now she's into it. She got the sports center up, and I infected my whole family, so.
And it is. A lot of folks here are with their friends, with their best pals. You can see the free Wi-Fi. Folks are going to help some people be able to share that with friends who are across country via Twitter or Facebook. Last night, social media was not happening. A lady texted me a photo she took, and it took like 4 hours for me to get it later on. So people are very excited. They're hoping for a win, and everybody's getting their spot on the sidewalk to make sure they can see all the action on the big screen. Reporting live, I'm Brian Johnson at Power and Light. We'll send it back to you.
It's going to be a big party out there again tonight, I think.
Oh, yeah.
And continuing our team coverage in San Francisco is KMBC 9's Lara Moritz. Lara, you caught up with some huge Royals fans while you were out there, right?
They've made an impression on me that will never, ever leave me. Favorable, very favorable. On Friday, on Ellen, the Ellen Show, Marla and Carla, identical twins, got World Series tickets. And so when they flew in on Saturday, we met up with them, and oh my gosh, talk about energy. You could see their excitement from across the street. Marla and Carla not able to contain themselves. Even Giants fans who watched the Ellen Show Friday afternoon took pictures of the now famous Missouri Twins.
Are you so excited? Oh my gosh, yes! Yes, we've been up all night, got up at 4 o'clock, went to the airport, slept on the first leg, but we are so excited. I'm good, even though we haven't had any sleep, but we have adrenaline going.
These are your credentials that are going to bring you on the field for batting practice.
Major League Baseball and a representative from the Giants gave Marla and Carla their packets of passes and, of course, tickets to the game.
We don't want to get kicked out. Yeah. No, so, yeah.
You guys behave yourselves now.
Ellen would be really upset. She would be disappointed. She told us not to drink too much. I go, we don't drink. We don't even drink. So if we act crazy, that might be more dangerous.
And just like that, the twins were whisked away as their adventure continues, stopping to look at McCovey Cove, fulfilling their dream.
It's truly the once-in-a-lifetime experience, like literally. Yeah, we're so excited.
And you know, when I got to know them a little bit and walked around with them, I just found myself jumping with them. I mean, they're just contagious. Now, they did not get thrown out of the park last night, but I bet they were maybe just a tad subdued because of the loss.
It's hard to imagine, isn't it? You know, I got to meet them on Thursday during the big surprise at their house in Kearney. I mean, it doesn't seem, Laura, like they've come down from the high.
No. No, and you know, from the story that we did, you know, they said, we haven't slept. It's like the less sleep they get, the more excited they are. It was just awesome. It was great. And you know what else is really funny? I've got to tell you this. So this morning, as we're walking around the park finding Royals fans, my phone rings, and it's Marla. And Marla said, before we left, we saw your story on Christopher Elbow Chocolates here in San Francisco. Where is that place? We've got to go there before we get on the plane. You know, just like that, with that much energy. So no, they have not come down, and hopefully they made it to Christopher Elbow's chocolate shop. You know, he's our Kansas City chocolatier.
And now they're on a sugar high too.
Yes.
Wonderful. Thanks so much, Lara.
Yeah, those chocolates are good. I eat about a half a dozen a week. Take the crown. We need to do that tonight. Here's the conditions for Game 5 in San Francisco. 64 degrees. We're still going to be dealing with a pretty stiff breeze out of the west. So righties, lefties, they may have a game of it because this wind is blowing into the outfield. By the 7th inning, I think the winds will gradually begin to decrease just a little bit. 61 degrees. So we're talking 60s out there. We're talking 80s. Here in Kansas City, 83 degrees our current temperature, and not to be outdone by San Francisco, our wind gusts are also stronger at 31 miles per hour. For the rest of the evening, only dropping down into the mid-70s. Roll the windows down. If you have the convertible, put the top back. It's a good night here in Kansas City. It'll be a great night. We get that Royals win in here. Monday, we're dealing with some rain showers for the evening commute. Nothing too significant, but you'll notice significantly cooler conditions for the work week and possibly frost for next weekend. Strap yourselves in. A little bit of a ride ahead. That's coming up. Haley.
And our World Series coverage continues from San Francisco. A look of AT&T Park right there. Coming up, we will hear from the players about how they're gearing up for tonight's game. Stay with us. As the Royals continue their quest for the title, we have a great way that you can stay connected with all things Royals. Check out our Royals Live Wire page.
That's right. It's all right up here. So maybe you don't have a Twitter account or a Facebook account. You can find it all right here. For example, Chris Ketch tweeting out right there. He's throwing some pictures out. Lara Moore, it's KMBC. Here's Salvi Perez. That one sent out by Major League Baseball. Matty D, our social media producer, he's here. Salvi once again. So you can find that all up at our website, KMBC.com. Big shout out to the McGuire family for sending us that picture.
There is a 34-degree temperature on the 7-day. Yeah, you're going to want to stick around to find out which day we could be experiencing some frost here in Kansas City.
Well, here he is, Royals superfan Sung-Woo Lee. He is back in the Metro celebrating Royals going to the World Series.
He's been in Power and Light in Westport watching the games. Fans have been wondering where he's going to be at tonight. Turns out Sung-Woo might be watching the game from his hotel room. Recent Twitter post from Sung-Woo saying that his stomach is upset, and that tends to happen whenever he eats American food. So Sung-Woo not feeling so hot tonight, might be taking the game inside to his hotel room. We'll see what happens. He is a bit of a good luck charm, but I think it really only applies if he's here in the Metro.
Right.
I don't think he needs to necessarily be out and about, so.
No. Take it easy on all the fried foods and the barbecue and all that stuff, right?
Yeah, right. Well, this guy over here.
Hey, I just hammer down and I just work my way through it. I can tell you that right now. Really great conditions here in Kansas City for, I guess, watching the Royals game taking place out there in San Francisco. It's still a little windy out there at AT&T Park. The flags kind of flowing in the breeze just a little bit. Not as windy as the past couple of days. There's another live look. AT&T Park. You can see the flags in the distance there. There's some swirling wind. The wind always swirls out there at that ballpark. Comes right in off the ocean, into the park, and then out into the bay. Right now we have westerly winds 18 miles per hour. So it might be a bit of a hitter's paradise tonight, an outfielder's nightmare. 70 degrees right now in San Francisco. Remember that number, 70. Doesn't have anything to do with a game. Game 5 right now. 64 degrees is going to be the temperature at about first pitch, and then those numbers will drop down into the low 60s. The winds will also slowly begin to decrease for this game, but the winds have been a big player in all the games out there in San Fran. Game 6 back here in Kansas City, and it will be the chill taking center stage here from a weather standpoint. A light westerly breeze, but you'll need the bigger coat. Temperatures for most of this game will be in the 40s. Game 7, if we need it, 59 degrees on Wednesday for the first pitch, dropping down into the mid-50s. So still a heavier jacket, now a south breeze at about 10 miles per hour. Not as windy here in Kansas City as out there at the Bay. Over the last 3 hours, clouds and radar. The radar's taking a break. Just a few cirrus wisps sliding across the area. It should be a pretty sunset. If you're heading out to Sporting Park for Sporting KC, 7:30 will be the first kick. 76 degrees, windy, you bet. Second half, you won't need the coats for this one. Low 70s. Okay, 70 in San Francisco. Kansas City, 83. And look at those winds gusting out of the south, over 30 miles per hour. It was close to 40 earlier in the day. We're up about 85 degrees here in the Metro. 83 in Lee Summit, 77 Blue Springs. We head over to DeSoto, about 82 in Gardner. Overnight, temperatures are going to stay pretty mild. The wind's going to mix things up just a bit and keep us from dropping. 60s for much of us, a few 50s, St. Joe and Maryville. Highs for tomorrow will still be above their normals for this time of year in the 60s. Cool front sweeping through 70s and 80s, and with that cool front will be a few showers for Kansas City, mainly during the late afternoon and early evening. Light accumulations, maybe a rumble of thunder, but this shouldn't have that big of an impact on the evening drive. But I would still keep the umbrella handy. Lunchtime outside, 72, 76 degrees for an evening drive temperature with a few scattered showers about. And that front will bring the big change for the rest of the work week. Kind of teased it earlier. That 34 that we talked about, Saturday morning here in Kansas City. Might be a little bit warmer. Some of the latest data suggests that it could be, but it's going to be significantly cooler next weekend than this weekend. We still could see some frost.
Yeah, that's pretty drastic.
Yeah, big time.
Thanks, Nick.
Hey guys, Johnny Kane coming to you live inside AT&T Park. Just had one Royals fan walk by and say, hey, I would sell my kidney, I would sell my soul. We just need 2 more victories. Beautiful day for baseball here in the World Series. Game 5, a live report coming up next. Hello, everybody. Johnny Kane coming to you live inside AT&T Park. Game 5 of the World Series. What a great day for baseball. Hey, a lot of people looking at it now. Obviously, hey, it's a best of 3 now. We got a 3-game series to decide the world champion here in 2014. And let me tell you this. Now, Kansas City didn't have its best effort last night. Obviously, they got hit in the mouth pretty good. An 11-4 loss in Game 4 as the Giants were able to even this series at 2 games apiece. Now you've got Madison Bumgarner, the best pitcher this postseason. But let me tell you this. The Royals beat Madison Bumgarner back in August. They have beaten the Giants 5 of the 7 times they've faced. Now they just got to figure out a way to win 2 more times in order to hang another world championship banner. Hey, it's going to be tough tonight, absolutely. But they've got big game James Shields on the mound tonight. We haven't seen his best efforts yet of the postseason either. So it's going to be awesome. This is what you live for. This is October baseball at its finest. It ain't easy. Nothing ever is. But Eric Hosmer obviously feels very confident, as do the rest of these Royals players as they head into this Game 5 matchup against the Giants ace, Madison Bumgarner.
His arm motion and basically his whole motion is effortless. So it's, the ball really explodes out of his hand, and he's got that, kind of cross body, which is tough on lefties. But he's got that cutter. He throws that cutter. That's his out pitch. He's even when he gets behind and hitters counts, he can change speeds off that cutter and really bails them out of a lot of counts. But like I said, he's a competitor out there, and he's got the numbers to prove it in postseason baseball. So we know it's going to be tough. But we're a tough group. We welcome the challenge.
All right, and certainly what I take away from this, I'm a big guy on body language. I saw Ned Yost a little bit earlier, legs crossed in the dugout, smiling, posing for a couple of pitchers. Lorenzo Cain a few minutes ago, he's propped up. Everybody's loose, they're relaxed. Obviously, the pressure of this moment is huge, and a lot of people at home, they've got their blood pressure ramped up here. But these Royals players, you just got to take it easy. Enjoy the moment, savor it, and pull yourself up by the bootstraps and go to work. So, got to win 2 of the next 3 games. That's it, right? All right, I'm Johnny Kane reporting live here inside AT&T Park. I like our chances. Let's send it out to Karen Kornacki, who's live at McCovey Cove. Karen?
Thank you, Johnny. One of the things we're talking about with Big Game James, he's been in this situation before, so I think Ned has the utmost confidence in him that he can handle things even when he's not pitching at his best. And we know this has not been his best postseason. I mean, for a while it was the kidney stone, and now we're hearing that there might be mechanical adjustments. So when the media asked him, what is it you've been doing to try to get ready for this big matchup in this game, this is what James had to say.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the last couple of starts is not the way I wanted to end up, but sometimes those things happen. Unfortunately, it's right now. But me and Dave had a really good bullpen session this last round. Just kind of rushing, rushing the plate. Ball was getting flat, really flying open, and really just not getting the job done, bottom line. And we had a good bullpen session. We fixed some things mechanically, and hopefully it translates into the game.
Now, I did talk to Dave, who he is referring to, the pitching coach, and basically he said 2 things that they corrected. One, James has become very predictable. Throw 2 fastballs, and then a changeup's coming. And these hitters are waiting on that changeup because they've predicted what he's going to throw. The other thing is he's had too much movement. He's always had that kind of dipsy-do kind of thing, and he's been moving his hands too much, getting all out of rhythm. When they changed that, they slowed it down, changed up his pitching repertoire. He did have a very good bullpen. So they're really excited to see the Big Game James tonight on the mound, hoping this will be his best effort of the postseason. Johnny, back to you.
Hey, very good insight there, Karen. I'm glad you dug into there, because what I want to watch for tonight is how often James Shields uses his cutter. You talk about, obviously, the variation in speeds from his 2-seam fastball to his changeup now. Watch how many times he throws the cutter in tonight's Game 5, because, again, been a little bit predictable through his first few starts here in the postseason. Let's send it on back to the studio.
Johnny, question for you, buddy. You've been in AT&T Park for a couple games now, and you've obviously been in the K. It looked pretty rowdy last night in San Francisco. Can you compare the crowds and the support for the team there? Maybe which one's rowdier, which one's getting a little more excited here? Break it down for us, buddy.
Well, I can tell you right now, man, there's ain't nothing like Kauffman Stadium in October, but certainly the fans here in San Francisco have been terrific. I mean, they're a passionate group, so once they get going, they get going. So, yeah, definitely loud. I think it was louder when I look at all the stadiums. I look at Baltimore was pretty loud, but I would put San Francisco up there at the top as far as road venues, but ain't nothing like Kauffman Stadium. So obviously we get back for Game 6 and potentially Game 7 there. I like our crowd advantage in that one. Johnny Kane reported live here in San Fran. We'll go back to you guys.
Have a good night.